Well, if the thumbnail is not clear enough, this is about creating a game with cars and dinosaurs. And this is game development. It's wild, creative, and sometimes an overwhelming adventure. But what happens when you are chasing the dream of creating a commercially viable game while juggling a full-time job? Join me as I take you behind the scenes of my journey. And it all started with a plan, a strategic plan to be exact. I wanted to create a game that wasn't just fun, but also commercially viable. Stakes? High. Pressure? Oh yeah. But despite having a full-time job, I'd rather fight for my dreams than feel like an NPC. Stuck. So, say hello to my best friend, Crunch. And it's not the chocolate bar, it's the lifestyle. Every great adventure starts with a blueprint, or at least with some scribbles on a napkin. Okay, next up, growing my social media presence. Yeah, that's a vital part of the marketing plan. Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, Reddit, you name it. And honestly, this was an uncharted territory for me. I felt like trying to speedrun a game I've never played before. But like every task wrapped in uncertainty, I just decided to learn by doing.
Just keep posting, just keep posting.
And after posting, realize what works and what does not. For me, it's like embarking on a mission to connect with other devs and gamers.
Free.
And during the first days, nothing happened, just crickets. And then Twitter or X or whatever they call themselves this week changed these terms of service about AI, and everything went boom. Suddenly, creators were jumping ship to Blue Sky and other platforms lightning fast. I managed to ride that wave and set up a Blue Sky profile during the migration frenzy. And somehow, I hit the 1200 follower mark. Just fingers crossed they are not all bots. Or worse, crypto bros. During that time, I was managing social media manually, and it was a humongous grind, but I figured out how to automate it. And the buffer. This tool lets me post to 3 platforms at once. And sure, it has limitations, so I still post extra stuff manually. But the big question about social media is all this effort worth it? Honestly, I have no idea. For now, let's just say I'm playing the long run. I need to start working on my art skills as soon as possible. So week 2 was all about buildings and 3D. I found this super impactful building in my city and snapped a bunch of reference photos. When I saw it, it came to my mind something between a work camp and an asylum from the World War II. Yeah, with those photos in hand, I learned how to model basic buildings and texture them. And for a brief moment, I felt like an artist. But then, because I know myself, I knew it was happening, I started showing way more than I could handle. After a week of working on 3D modeling and texturing, I got way too excited. I convinced myself that I could make a Silent Hill clone, complete with creepy post-processing effects, monsters, puzzles, the full pack experience. And naturally, I jumped straight into the new project.
Hey, yeah, remember me? Let's not go off the rails just yet. You are ruining everything.
After that, I will improve the process. I will not accept side quests unless they come with an epic loot. Keeping track of ideas, design, and goals might not sound glamorous, but trust me, it's a lifesaver when your brain feels like a browser with 50 tabs open and one of them is playing music. And you can find it! So here's how it works. Every Monday morning, I revisit my strategic plan, update the status on my weekly tasks, and evaluate how much time I spent on different goals. Then I create new tasks based on my preferences and where the project stands. I also schedule social media posts for the week, because why not start Monday with a side of chaos? And of course, for this whole system to work, I track how much time I spend on each task through the week. The goal? Avoid wasting precious hours on things that aren't aligned with my strategy. It's week 3, and my trusty system saved me from my impulsive tendencies yet again. No Silent Hill clones this week. Thank you very much. Instead, it was time to get serious. I need to identify a commercially viable game idea. I dove into market research and Steam tag analysis to figure out what's hot and what's not. And most importantly, what fits my limitations and preferences. After hours of crunching data, examining tags, and questioning my sanity, I finally landed on the idea. A racing game. Because who doesn't love the thrill of speed? The idea hit me like a turbo boost. Racing games are fast, fun, and maybe even profitable. Plus, no one can complain about the lack of a plot on a racing game. Trust me if I told you I've seen every minute of footage of the trailers of the main competitors. I've also read the majority of the comments to identify the main issues those games had. Analyzing other games in the genre is crucial. What made them succeed, what players loved, and what I could do better, or not, is crucial to establish the threshold of income that I want to achieve. The key takeaway? Having a clear view of my expectations, limitations, and tasks. And then, the real fun began. I used the previously created proof of concept for my game. Sure, it's rough, because it's a proof of concept, but it's a start. The next step was playing with the engine to have proper racing mechanics running. Baby steps, but they count. Like most of you, I have very little time to dedicate to my own projects. Spending too much time on it could wreck my work-life balance, or worse, my relationship. And trust me, I was modeling terrain. It's not a great excuse for forgetting date night. Thankfully, there are tools to save time and keep my sanity intact. This is World Machine, my digital sandbox where I build the terrain for my game world. From rolling hills to winding valleys, this tool brought my vision to life and gave me my game's very first track. Building the land felt like its own adventure. It was equal parts creativity and trial and error because, let's be honest, at this point I don't know what I'm doing with this tool, but works. I have to say that there are many different things to speed up the prototyping process, like asset packs. And then came the car. Say hello to my little friend, hello back. It's simple and it's made by Kenny, but it gets the job done at this point. Do you think that I will reduce my carbon footprint if I place some trees in my map? And let's place some other props to make the world feel alive. And then, it happened. The first back arose. The car felt like I was driving on a track made of butter. It was nearly impossible to handle. And let's just say that graceful turns were not in the cards. If my assumptions were correct, the problems was all about inertia. During curves, the car had this unstoppable momentum that wasn't being counteracted by the grip. Physics 1, me 0. To solve it, I made a stabilizer to improve the handling. Problem solved, right? No! So after hours of tweaking, my car finally drives like a car, and not like a bar of soap. But what's a game if you can drive against anything? So we need some AI. But let's say that this is just a work in progress. An impressive work in progress. What you can see here is just the first idea that came to my mind. I just drew a line with points, and the AI followed the path, adjusting the velocity based on the density of the coming points. Not bad, and it can race backwards. But hey, could it race forward without crashing? We'll see if it's not so stupid after all. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what feature should I tackle next. Where are the dinosaurs?